Hey, 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 all of my crafty friends. I'm coming to you from an extremely messy desk. Guys, I got to get this cleaned for Halloween tomorrow. We have all these people coming over, and my desk is atrocious, but I literally have not crafted in so many days, and I've gotten so much good stuff in lately, but yeah, I still need to I need to clean up. So after hopefully we get this project done so that we can kind of keep on moving. We're only on day 14, right? I think it's day 14. Let's have a look at where we're at. Yeah. So their last project was a 13, and it was the ghost one where it opens all up. Super awesome. I'm not going to continue to open it because it's probably not, it's not made best, or it's made good, but it's like still hard to kind of open. Anyway, so we are on the back of a 6x8 page. So we are kind of doing a more full page-ish spread. I have this in my head, but like it's not coming out. I don't know why, but this is my little guy. This was a Saturday, and he did tackle football this year. This picture, and it isn't exactly from this weekend. This picture is, but I didn't, it was super rainy and nasty this day. So I just didn't have I wanted a full page spread. And years from now, it won't matter what picture it is. I have pictures. This spread is going to be more about football in October. And you know, how football affected our fall this year, because we had never had football. We did tackle football, but that was like 1 day a week type thing, where tackle was 4 days a week plus games. So lives were crazy, and this little guy was his first time playing, and so there was a lot of trials and tribulations where he wasn't getting a ton of playing time. So we had lots and lots of big boy discussions and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, it is done now. We are very proud of our little guy for sticking with it. And he made a lot of new friends, including this guy. I mean, he was friends with this guy before, but like they really definitely connected. And I believe this kid that's sitting here, I don't know the kid's numbers, but I can see his hair, and I'm like 95% sure that this kid too, that he really got to know. So it was great for relationships. So anyways, I've hurt my back somehow. We're going to do a little bit of stamping with large Jane Alpha stamps. You've seen these before in medium. I don't use the large ones as much, but we're going to, because I have the dies also, so no fussy cutting. Plus, this is like my largest alphabet stamp, I would believe. I'm going to have to believe it is. And I needed a big one. So my plans are to put football like in October for the title. So we're going to do that. I also have one other, I don't know where I put it. Is it this? It is not. There it is right here. I pulled this, I know, a page protector. I've been saying like I need to use more page protectors. I've gotten so far away from page protectors. I don't know about anybody else, but I've gotten so far away from page protectors. I think since this is going to be a full page spread, this is going to carry over, and then I can have my 3x4s. These two might go back to back, and I'm going to have a journaling card here, I believe, or flip up. Actually, I think it's going to be a flip up, because I can't go back to back, because that would put it on the back of this one. I think it's going to be a flip up. The only thing that I don't love is like this part. It's really just getting the full picture. So I wanted this to be a full page spread, but putting these pictures on top of those pictures, even though they would have been lots more, it was just really busy. It just like really busy. I didn't love it. So we'll see how it goes. The other option was doing this, keeping this as a out of page protector and sewing 3x4 page protector onto this and using it that way. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what I want to do. I kind of love the sewing portion. I'm talking myself into the sewing portion. I think I am. I think we're talking myself into the sewing portion. Okay, let's get to cutting and at least getting the title done. And I can kind of think through there as I do this. Oh, I don't want this. All right, so let's get this project started. I don't know how in the world that this simple, really, I mean, this is really a simple layout, honestly, turned into like almost a 20-minute video. I mean, I know that I talked for a little bit in the beginning, but other than, I guess it's all the stamping that I did. Or, you know, you're going to see here in a minute that I have more ink pads that are exploding on me. I'm starting to wonder, unfortunately, if it's the way I'm displaying my Distress Oxides. I have done how like Ashley Horton has done, and displayed them in like the ink or the nail polish like tiered style, and I'm thinking that gravity is taking over some of my ink pads, and you'll see here in a minute that I have a mess again, and I thought it was just a fluke with my chipped sapphire going everywhere, but you're going to see here in a minute that my candy apple has now also done the same thing. So maybe like the more juicier pads are doing this, which is not going to be good because I do have a few that I want to refill, like my black soot. I need to get a re-inker for my black soot. And I'm afraid that I'm going to have a bunch of ink. Let's see. You can see it right there. I'm about to put this down and be like, oh my gosh, that's so juicy. And then I look up and I have ink everywhere. So if you have your Distress Oxides displayed in the way that I do, let me know if you're having issues with gravity. Anyways, all right, so here I am. I am using my large Jane stamps from Elle's Studio. And yep, got to test all of the reds because I just didn't know exactly which red was going to go well with that. I didn't love the look of my Distress Oxides. They are called Distress Oxides for a reason. They give you a distressed look when you're stamping. I actually was listening to a creator the other day, and she mentioned that Distress Oxides weren't even meant for actual like stamping. I mean, obviously you can use them for stamping, but they were literally made for more like blending issues and mixed media type. So crazy. I was like, oh, well, I kind of understand that, but I really wasn't going for the distressed look of this one. So went over, of course, to my more smooth inks, my more dye inks, and chose Holiday Red from Close to My Heart. This one is super red. The other ones that I tested were Ruby and Cranberry. That's what those ones, you can see the Cranberry was way too dark, and the Ruby just had like a brown tone that I didn't like, so I wanted a red. As you can see, the turf on our field is like a red. Okay, stamped all of that out, and then we will do the outline of this. You're going to see I messed up on the F. I didn't want it perfect. I didn't want the outline perfect. I wanted a little bit, you know. But when I stamped this one down, it was like way off, and I knew that my die would then cut off the outline. So I was like, well, I gotta restamp that one. So I will do that. Like I said, I didn't want them perfect, but you gotta get them a little bit close so that especially when you're working with the die, if you were fussy cutting it, you could do it. But when you're working with dies, you gotta get it a little bit close. So I'm sitting there going, is that B upside down? But it can't be upside down because then it would be backwards. I'm like, but the small part is on the bottom. Anyways. Oh, I wanted to mention Happy Halloween. It is, when I go to post this today, it will be Halloween, and we've made it to Halloween, and I'm only on story 14. I had such high hopes of keeping up with this project, guys. I should know better. I definitely am going to do more realistic expectations for December daily. yeah, I need to. Anyways, I think getting a few more foundation pages together will make things a little bit easier, even though I've only used like one of my foundation pages so far. I still haven't even used my favorite tag one that I just haven't had, like, I don't know, I haven't had a thing that I would use that for yet. It might get used for Halloween, honestly. I might finally do a good. I always feel like I get to Halloween and I throw one picture of my kids in there and call it good because I want to be done with the project. So, all right, let's put all of that down. Just using my Barely Arts glue to put these all down along with my reverse tweezers. I really have been trying to use my reverse tweezers more and get used to them more, just because it is easier to put things down and see things. But I'm just a creature of habit, and I don't know. I need to get more used to them. Anyways. So yeah, so I liked how this spread came out, but didn't. I don't know. I really felt like I should have put maybe like a gradient on this picture up here, or maybe like a piece of felt. I don't know. I just don't feel like my football stood out quite as well as I wanted it to. Again, like, I think what I had envisioned in my head was a picture that I didn't have in real life. I don't know. I feel like I did have a picture of these kids like all in a row on the sidelines, and I could not find it. At least from this timeline. I did have one from their very first game, but that is not representative of anything like what happened in October, I guess. I know this one is literally from like the last weekend of September. Again, I won't care. I liked these pictures. If you get really technical, you're going to see like they have no sleeves on, which every game in October was cold. But like I said, it is what it is. Here, okay, so I love the Elle's Studio design team. They always put together their products so well. And they're always putting together these titles that have like 4 different products in them. And so like, I'm like, I really want to do that type of thing. So that is why I did this, I guess. Again, I'm not going to, okay, I'm jumping all over the place. Let me back up. I couldn't figure out a font or stickers to use in. So I did go in and get the Lizzie stamp. I think it turned out fine. I don't think that it turned out bad. It just wasn't exactly what I had in my head. So, all right, there we go. So there's that little piece. I did, in the end, decide that I was going to sew these. So here we are going to bust out the sewing machine. Oh, no. First, we need to cut down the page protectors. So I have about a cajillion page protectors because I bought a ton of them in the beginning. And now I barely use them. And then I also decided to go with the left side so that I would have that extra spot to sew on. So got the sewing machine out. I also, for the first time, decided to go with a zigzag stitch. I thought that would be best for this. And actually, it came out pretty darn decent. I was like really proud of myself because I'm not a sewer. It came out pretty darn well, and I'm so excited because I really want to use this stitch more in my December daily here coming up. All right, so we did that, and like I said, it came out super good, guys. Look at that. I mean, it's not perfect, but who wants perfect on their scrapbooking pages? So obviously page protectors are a little bit bigger than, which they really shouldn't be. Maybe it's just these ones. This was a citrus twist one anyways. Because my page should be at 8.25, and it was at 8.25. Anyways, I don't know, whatever. So I did have to cut off a little bit of the top of that, which meant like my picture had to be cut off a little bit, but I took a little too much off right there. You'll see later. It's okay. It's no big deal. There I am. I'm like, oh gosh, I think I took a little bit too much off, but it ends up working out fine. So here we go. We took that off. And I'm like, I don't really want to cut through those stitches, but we did, and it all worked out fine. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. All right, then I went through my stash because I wanted a journaling. I didn't want to put 2 pictures on this side because I just thought that would be super busy, like I mentioned before. So I wanted to find a journaling card. As I've mentioned before, there's no journaling cards for the Halloween kits. So I went through, I used to subscribe to the Elle Studio monthly subscription. So I have 1.4 million of these because I don't use that many journaling cards anymore. And if I do, it's digitally. And so I went through that. I found this one with that red. I was like, that is perfect. Then I was like, okay, so let's get some stamps out. Let's like bring out my Jenny Garcia in me. I always say that because she does such amazing 3x4 cards and like layers them with a million stamps and everything else. So channeling my inner Erica Garcia. And if you haven't seen her stuff, go check her out. Like, she's totally not my style, like, of scrapbooking, but then totally, I love her style of scrapbooking. It's so crazy, right? But then I was like, okay, I need a spot for journaling still, and I don't know how to do that. So I was like, okay, let me get a tag die out. And that's what I'm doing right here, and cut it from, I literally have a million cards from Project Life, from Becky Higgins from 1997. And so I have been just using the grid ones on random projects. If you can hear my puppy snoring, I'm sorry. I cut the first one. It was crooked and I didn't even think about it being crooked, and I got it out. I'm like, yeah, that's not cute. So, but I also wanted this to pop off the page a little bit. So let's use that. I don't know why I picked that one. I should just pick the other red, but let's use that one that exploded and just ink the corners, ink the edges so that it pops off the page a little bit. And then I didn't even use this for journaling. I'm actually going to use the back side of the flip up for journaling. And I'm going to put my number on this. I thought I was going to put my number over there on that picture. But then with the journaling card, I thought it would be a little bit busy. The things that run through my mind when I'm crafting, I don't know. And then thinking about this flip up, you got to see, like, I have to pull this back apart. Sometimes when I'm crafting. I'm also talking to my husband at this point. We're having some conversations about finances and all that other junk. So it's like, I'm doing too much. But it's just a flip out, so it's okay. But you're going to see me pull it back apart. And I'm like, why do you do that? Like, just to flip it over and then put it on top of each other so that they line up. Yes, silly Willy. All right, so just doing that flip up real quick. Like I mentioned, that picture is from the night picture is not. That's from the other game in October. I figured I'd put both of the games that he had in October in here. But I also felt like putting the night game, because it had that track. It wasn't so much green. Like, we already had so much green. Like, we did this. So, pulled out these tab stickers, which I was like, there's clearly nothing going to be on here that I can use because it's all Halloween. And then there was one more memories one. And I'm like, yes, perfect. Not that I love that it says memories upside down, but I didn't want to put it on the edge. I don't know why. I don't know. Pulling out these paper person number stickers. Guys, I'm using them. Honestly, look at this whole spread. I've used my whole stash. Look at me go, guys. I even used a stash, like 3x4 card that I never thought I was going to use. I'm over here using my stash like a stash buster. All right. Then put a little bit of twine because we can't have a tag without a twine. And I'm going to finish up this spread. I don't think there was anything too much more I had to do in this spread. What else? Oh, yeah, nothing too much. I'm just going to stamp using, these are paper person stamps. Well, Yeah, this one is a paper person. The football stamp is an Elle Studio one. And going to use some gathered twigs, I think it is, and put, absolutely loving this. We enjoyed football season as much as we didn't enjoy football season this year. It was a tough little season. So, especially for that little guy. He wasn't quite used to being in a sport where he wasn't getting playing time. Coming from travel baseball to this was a little different. So, all right, just going to put that in my album there, guys. And day 14 is all set. I can only imagine from here on out we're going to have more Halloween-ish spreads. As I feel like some of this has not been, I mean, I guess that last one, 13, was Halloween-ish. So I guess I can't say that. I don't know. I think it's been a good mix of everyday stories and Halloween-ish stories. So, all right, guys, if you've gotten this far, thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to have December daily videos coming up because I found some in the archives. All right, guys, in the comments below, put a little football if you've gotten this far, and I will see you in the next one.